There are 31 nights till Halloween, which means these are the 31 nights to watch horror films. This is 31 Nights of Halloween.
A lot of people love vampire movies. I like them. I don't love them. But I do love werewolf films. I don't know. I just gravitate towards werewolves more than I do vampires. Like, for some reason for me, I like my undead people to be decaying, rotting corpses. You know, zombies. I don't like them being attractive sex deviants. Maybe this is why I never fully gravitated towards vampires as much as I do werewolves. But again, I do like some vampire films when done correctly. But I do love werewolf movies. There's something about them. They are vicious, ferocious, majestic, terrifying. They're deadly creatures. The sad part is there really aren't that many good werewolf films. Ginger Snaps, American Werewolf in London, those are great. But for every one of those, there's always a Teen Wolf 2 or Cursed. That's why I'm happy to talk about my favorite werewolf movie, The Howling. I think I like the way the werewolves look in The Howling more than I like the way they look in American Werewolf in London, let's say. Although the American Werewolf in London version would probably be the more true version. But for me, I like them looking like standing up, and just the way they look in The Howling is terrifying for me for some reason. And maybe that's because I saw it as a kid. So what's The Howling actually about? Well, Karen White, played by Dee Wallace, is a newscaster who has caught the attention of a stalker that also happens to be a serial killer. Eddie, the serial killer, has been infatuated with Karen, so much that he confesses to her all the murders that he's responsible for. Karen agrees to meet him as long as the police are close behind. During their meeting, Eddie wants to show her what he can offer. Eddie then begs Karen to turn around and look at him when Karen screams as police officers enter the porno shop and shoot down Eddie. Unfortunately for the police, Karen can't recall what happened at all. It's like she has amnesia. The entire incident is a blur to her. Whatever it was so disturbing, she blocked it out. She then has nightmares about the incident. The nightmares persist so much that she then seeks the help of Dr. George Wagner, who suggests she get away from it all and pursue counseling at his retreat, the Colony. But the thing about this colony is that the people that are there are all werewolves. But Karen doesn't know this yet. Karen goes with her husband Bill, played by Christopher Stone, who is quickly being seduced by this nymphomaniac named Marcia, who shows him the strange world of the wolf. While all this is going on, two of Karen's co-workers are investigating Eddie Quist and are discovering the true mythology of werewolves. They're shapeshifters and don't need a full moon to turn into werewolves. If you don't kill them right, they will come back to life and can regenerate. I think maybe this version of this mythology, this is why I probably gravitated towards this movie more than I do like the other ones, because I like this way better. The moon thing is cool, but always being subjected to that is, but being able to shapeshift whenever you want and you could be killed and come back to life, being like Wolverine and being able to heal yourself after, that seems pretty cool to me. You just have to get killed the right way, silver bullets and stuff. And I know, like I said earlier, I didn't like my vampires being sexualized, being sexy, and the werewolves in this are sexy and are sexualized, but werewolves aren't dead. Vampires are supposed to be dead. The film was directed by Joe Dante, who also directed another great film, Gremlins. That's great for Christmas, though. And in my opinion, he directed a masterpiece. Special effects were done by Rob Bottin and not by Rick Baker. They don't hold up to Rick Baker, obviously, but I like this version. I like the special effects. I like it, but it's not as good as, Rick Baker or Stan Winston. But like I said, that's just me. I like the way they look. Later on in the film, two of the journalists that were investigating Eddie Quist decide to go to the colony to try to rescue Karen and her husband because they feel like they are in danger. Then we get to the end of the film where Karen decides she needs to reveal to the world that werewolves are real and they exist, to be careful. And I think that was also interesting. Although I don't like the special effects for Karen at the end of the film, I do enjoy, throughout the rest of the movie. To be honest, I'm really surprised this movie hasn't been remade yet. I know I rag on remakes, but this is one that could use a modern take, and I think it'd work really well. I know there's a bunch of sequels to this, and I don't think I've seen any of them. I tried to see two once, and I don't know if they're good or bad or not. I hear they're not really good, but I haven't seen it, and I haven't looked it up that much. But, the first Howling is a masterpiece, as I've been saying. I love it. I definitely think you should check it out. That's why The Howling is number 12 on 31 Nights of Halloween.